Hello and welcome to ADHD Mums. In this podcast, we tackle the tough, often unspoken realities of motherhood, neurodiversity, and mental health. Happy Friday! When are we catching up to talk about the Mother's Day stall? As soon as I see that message come through, I'm immediately annoyed because I am not even meant to be in this group chat anymore. I left the PNC because I didn't want this exact thing, this circular, slightly passive-aggressive, never-ending decision-making conversation. I'm still getting the messages and I'm watching it unfold like I didn't opt out. I try to look away, but it's also like a car crash. Before I've even finished reading the first message, Beck's already in. Well, from the numbers from last year, we didn't seem to make much profit. So maybe we should just do a quick email about it and put all of our energy into something bigger like Christmas in July. And I just stare at it because of course she's gone straight to that. The treasurer would. And this is where it starts. I know exactly where this is going and it's going nowhere good because Lisa comes straight back. But that's not the point though. It was about the kids and the community and the gifts. Mother's Day needs a proper meeting. We need to give it the attention that it deserves. And I have a full body reaction of, no, how do I abort this chat without it seeming weird? I know this conversation. I've been in this conversation. I chose to get away from the conversation and you can feel it straight away. It's not just about what's being said, but it's about who everyone is about to become in this scenario. I've had this exact argument in slightly different words before, and this is the bit that I just wish people knew about the PNC and volunteer roles. It's never actually about the thing. It's never about the stall or the admin. It's about people. It is completely different brains, completely different neurotypes landing in the same space, assuming they're solving the same problem. But they are not. Then Beck's in again. We've pretty much used up all of the volunteer labour and we didn't make any money last year. If we are doing it again, we need to get cheaper gifts and higher prices. Otherwise, why are we even running this thing? And there it is. Why are we running it? This is about to get hectic. Like if I don't move, I won't somehow get pulled back into it, which is ridiculous because I'm already in the old chat somehow and I'm reading it. Now I'm a part of the audience, whether I like it or not, and I 100% know that people are checking who opened this. If I click out of the thread at this point and leave it or leave the group chat entirely, that is also going to look passive aggressive. So I continue to leave it open, hoping that it stops. Then no one replies for a while, which is worse because now it's just sitting there. The question, why are we even running the Mother's Day stall? And then Sarah, the president, comes in finally, and it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. I think both points are valid. Mother's Day is about community. And then she writes another one. The kids love it though. It's true, but that's not really leadership, is it? There are people in this chat that are reading the message and making it mean things about them as a person. And that is where it starts to escalate. This keeps going because Beck's still in it. She's the treasurer and she is not reacting openly. She is refining her message. She says, from a planning point of view, we need to be realistic about the margins. If we're using that many volunteers, the return needs to justify that. And I can feel what she's doing. She's tightening it. She's making it make sense. She's bringing it back to something measurable. Lisa's not going to follow there to anything measurable because Lisa organized and ran the whole thing. Of course, she doesn't come back to measurable. It wasn't measurable for her. She says it wasn't about the return, though. The kids were excited and they got to choose something for themselves. Parents said how much they loved it, and that's really important. It's still calm at this point. It's kind of controlled, but they're fully separated now. Beck is talking about what adds up financially. Lisa is talking about what mattered to the children and the community. Both answers are true, but neither of them answer the other. Beck actually continues on. If we want to keep doing the Mother's Day stall, we actually need a model that works. Otherwise, we're just burning out our volunteers for no outcome. And that lands exactly how you'd expect it to land because Lisa was the one that burnt out. I actually held her hand while she cried at a coffee shop because she was so stressed out. And Beck pointing that there was no real outcome is probably going to make her cry. Lisa responds just how I think she's going to. What does no outcome mean? The outcome was the experience. That's the whole point of Mother's Day. I'm like, oh my God. No one is using caps or there's no personal remarks, but there is some very exact wording. And they are both sharpening their argument in different directions. This is the point where it is not about the gifts. It is not about Mother's Day stall. You can hear it if you know what to listen for. Beck is the accountant, who's also the treasurer, is tracking, does this make sense financially? Lisa, who actually ran the event, she was tracking, but does it mean something? Was it important to the community? Did people enjoy it? Did kids have a smile on their face? Neither of them are wrong, but they don't even meet anywhere near the middle. And no one is able to adjust. They just keep answering their own version of the same question. And the chat fills up with statements that make complete sense in their own mind, but resolve absolutely nothing. And right when I think, oh my God, could this get worse? Sarah chimes in. Right at the edge where it could go either way. Sarah, the president, says, hey, maybe we should just park this for now and come back to it. We don't need to decide everything today. And you can feel what she's trying to do. Not solve it, just lower it. Her phone is probably ringing and she's doing dinner and she's like, oh my God, how did I get into the presidency role? She's attempting to take the temperature down and flatten it so no one keeps pressing each other's buttons in a group chat. However, once we've got this kind of tension building up, some brains don't go into how can we resolve this? Some brains go into how do we make it stop feeling like this? Sarah attempts to soften it. She moves it sideways, tries to give it somewhere to land that isn't confrontational, tries to set a different meeting time that we can discuss it, and she'll probably talk to both of them separately, I would say. For a second, I thought that was going to work. And I thought, this might just drift. Like, it's 5 or 6 o'clock. Surely other people have got things to do. But Beck, the treasurer, she does not read it like that. She doesn't see this like, let's go regulate our emotions, calm down, and get back together. She sees it as, this is not being dealt with. And this is an issue that I've raised. She sees Sarah and interprets it. She's inefficient. She's not really addressing anything. And where is her leadership? And I can start to feel the shift as she types. She's no longer clarifying her position. She starts correcting. But what is the point of doing it if it doesn't actually work? And that lands differently everywhere. To Lisa, the event organizer, it hits like everything she put into it just got reduced to nothing. And to Sarah, the president, it spikes the exact thing that she wanted to avoid. The tension is straight back, but only sharper. And that line just sits there. What is the point of doing it if it doesn't actually work? It's clean, it's logical, it's impossible to argue with directly. For Beck, it confirms it. This is about a system, whether it's fair, whether it makes sense, whether it's profitable. What is the point of the P&C if we are not making profit from the events? For Sarah, the president, it shifts it way up. She did not get into the presidency to mediate arguments. It's too tense. She wants it to calm down. It's going somewhere uncomfortable. She didn't sign up for this. And for Lisa, the event organizer, it lands like a rewrite. Like everything she did got reduced down to didn't work, not profitable, let's not bother. And this is the part that people don't see. You don't just leave the conversation. You leave with a version of yourself, the one who overdid it, the one who said nothing, the one who made it harder, the one who got it wrong. Because no one is reacting to the message itself. They're reacting to what their brain is designed to pick up on. It could be fairness, it could be threat, it could be effort, it could be error. And the problem is, it doesn't just stay in a chat. It follows you out of it, into the drive home, into the shower, 3 o'clock in the morning, to drop off tomorrow. It follows you everywhere. And then late, it happens. I knew it would. Samantha finally opens the group chat. Samantha, who organised all of the gifts from last year, has chimed in. Her message is longer than the others, and it's kind of like it's answering a different version of the conversation. She writes, sorry, just catching up on this now. Last year, the supplier didn't actually apply the discount that Beck had organised. And I didn't realise until after the order went through. It was all really rushed, and I was very stressed. And then I realised I actually had put the order in really late, and so we actually got charged additionally because I didn't put it in till a few days before. I can feel it immediately. No. Now it's not just the numbers didn't work. Now it's like, this is why. And it has a person sitting inside the why. This is why Mother's Day stall didn't work financially. It's because of Samantha. She hasn't said it directly. There's an apology in it, kind of. There's explaining. And there's that slightly too much detail that only shows up when someone feels like they need to account for something. And the whole chat tightens because the discount that Beck has painstakingly gotten hasn't been applied, and we were charged additionally because Samantha put the order in so late. And Beck comes in real quick now. Right, but that's exactly the issue. We can't run something like this if the margins depend on it going perfectly. She's continued it right back to where it was. Lisa, she goes back to what she was already saying. That's not fair, Beck. That's not what it's about. It's about community and the kids. It's not about numbers. And I can feel the shift in her too, because now she's painstakingly protecting the meaning of that Mother's Day stall. She's protecting the people in it, everything about it. Sarah, the president, does not step in this time. She thumbs up, said she just does neutral. You can see she's done. And thumbs upping as the president, a highly emotional group chat, that's not going to land real well everywhere. That is something that doesn't land anywhere. And the messages start to overlap. The explanations get longer and angrier. No one resolves anything. And then eventually the group chat stops. I was relieved initially, but then the pinging started and it splits. You don't see this happen in the main chat. It happens somewhere else, a smaller thread, different names, and the tone shifts immediately because the first conversation didn't resolve the internal state. And so the brain keeps trying, but somewhere safer, where you are more likely to have people agree with your opinion. This is no longer about solving the Mother's Day stall because we're not even in the committee chat. It's about stabilizing how that felt for the people in it. And that is what the second chat is doing. It's pulling in people who will see it the same way as you because agreement settles the nervous system faster than being right. So at this point, Lisa is going to have to rebuild her story because if that effort at the Mother's Day stall didn't matter, then everything she holds dear to herself and her identity and what she's still doing for the P&C doesn't matter. And if it didn't matter, then there's nowhere for her to go. She starts with, I just feel like that completely dismissed everything that we did. And there it is. It's not about the Mother's Day stall anymore. It's not even about the plan. It's about what it meant, how it landed, how she felt attacked and devalued as a volunteer. And the replies come in real quick in this chat. You're right. That didn't sit right. You carried most of that. It mattered. You did so well. And you can feel the emotion settle down. It didn't get resolved, but because the people inside this group chat are the most likely to believe that the Mother's Day stall matters regardless of the profit. And now their sense of the world makes sense again. Because if the Mother's Day stall mattered, then what she did still holds value. It mattered. It was important. And once that piece clicks into place for her, the conversation shifts again. Quietly though. Maybe we just need someone different as the treasurer next year. Someone more aligned. Someone who really gets what it's about. That sounds practical in a way, planning, but it's coming from a place of it would really feel better if Becky wasn't pointing out that we didn't make any money. It would make more sense to me and make me feel better. From Lisa's version of the world, she can't compute that all of her efforts were broken down to the fact that they didn't make any money. And from Lisa's point of view, she has to shift this. But back in the original chat, nothing's actually been resolved, but it's gone real quiet. And this is where it quietly shifts. Because it stops being about what was said and it starts becoming what you think it says about you. And that part stays. Not the conversation, not the outcome, the meaning you made for it. That you were not enough. You were the one that made it harder. You failed it. You got it wrong. You didn't make enough money. There was no point doing it. But none of that was actually true. Lisa and Beck were trying to solve completely different problems in a room that couldn't see it. This was never about one conversation. It's about two systems trying to make sense of the same space in completely different ways. And once you see that, you stop turning these moments into proof that there was something wrong with you or that you need to prove or persuade other people. You start to recognize that you weren't misreading it. You were just reading something that no one else was tracking. Quick announcement. Did you know that we have an ADHD Mums shop filled with resources designed just for you? These resources are packed with answers to the most frequently asked questions I get sent in via email. Everything from understanding ADHD and autism to practical tips for daily life. There's also a free assessment tool. If you're wondering about ADHD or autism for yourself or your little one, don't forget to check out the free assessment tool under free resources section on my website, adhdmums.com.au.